Today, the United States, notably the most powerful country in the world with a military budget nearly matching the military spending of the next 100 or so countries in the world, is on the precipice of war with the Islamic Republic of Iran, a Middle Eastern country rich in oil and officially at odds with the U.S. How did we get to this point? Today we take a look at the history of Iran vis-a-vis the United States. Some background history of Iran follows. The peoples of ancient Iran were united under King Cyaxares of the Median Empire in the 7th century BC. King Cyrus the Great became the next major figure in Iranian history by overthrowing the Median Empire, creating the Achaemenid Persian Empire about 550 BC, and gradually extending his influence across the Middle East. Eventually including Anatolia, Egypt, a small part of Europe, and various Asian countries, the Achaemenid Empire was the largest empire of its time, and the largest empire the world had seen up to that point. Persian expansion farther into Europe was halted in the Greco-Persian Wars, and the notable emergence of Alexander the Great of Macedon resulted in his conquest of the Old Persian Empire in 330 BC, starting a period of Hellenistic hegemony. The next big step in the history of Iran was the development of the Parthian Empire in 247 BC, an empire that saw conflict with the Romans. Roman-Persian wars continued for the next several centuries, culminating in an eventual conflict between Christians and Iranians called the Byzantine Sasanian War of 602 to 628 AD. Another major development in Iranian history followed with the replacement of the majority Zoroastrian religion of Iran with Islam during the Arab conquest of Iran in 651 AD. The Arab invaders brought their religion but failed to instill the Arab culture in Iran, and the influx of Turkic people around the 10th century converted many of those immigrants to the Iranian culture. The Mongol invasions of the 13th century devastated Iran, resulting in as much as 75% of the population killed. Wars with Imperial Russia followed in the 19th century, and by the early 20th century, a constitution was written for Iran. Religious minorities such as Jews, Christians, and Zoroastrians received constitutional protection. Russian and British interference with Iran followed, with fighting occurring between the Allied powers of World War I with the Ottoman Turks for Iranian territory. A major fallout of World War I was the British-backed coup in 1921. After this coup, Reza Shah became Minister of War, then Prime Minister, and eventually Shah, beginning the Pahlavi dynasty in 1925. As the world became mechanized and motorized, oil became of critical importance, and Iran found itself rich in this valuable natural resource. During World War II, a British and Soviet invasion of Iran kept Iranian oil from Germany and provided a gateway to the U.S.A. for American and British aid to flow to the Soviets. By 1951, Iranians sought to nationalize their country's petroleum industry to take it out of the hands of foreign nations, notably the U.S. and U.K., but British and Americans made sure to impose their will on Iran and prevent such nationalization by interfering with the Iranian government. Thus began the U.S.-Iranian conflict. As a question for my students and subscribers, could Americans and Iranians have avoided coming into eventual conflict by following different policies prior to the 1950s? Please let us know in the comments section below this video. If you like this video and would like to receive notification of new videos, please feel welcome to subscribe to History and Headlines and become one of our patrons. Your viewership is much appreciated.